Hi everyone, I'm Natalie from CantiLeiver and welcome to this second landing and legs session in our latest collaboration with Rejuvenate Physio. Remember, all our previous sessions are available to catch up on the CantiLeiver YouTube channel. We're delighted to be joined by Louise from Rejuvenate Physio, along with Megan, Gabby and Pippa. We absolutely love to see how you're getting on with the sessions. So again, we're going to be running a giveaway all week, where the winner will be picked at random from social media posts, tagging CantiLeiver and Rejuvenate Physio, and using the hashtag landingandlegs2. If you have a private account, please direct messages with your videos and pictures. You could win a Rejuvenate Physio goodie bag and a £50 CantiLeiver voucher. Have a great session, everybody.
Thanks, Natalie. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our second landing and legs session. For today's class, all you will need is plenty of space around you and a sturdy object such as a coffee table or a sofa that is safe and stable enough for you to stand and jump on. If you have a CantiLeiver Plyometric Box, that's brilliant. Just have it close by and ready for later. Before you start, please make sure you check with your parents to find an object that they feel is safe and suitable for you to use. As always, listen to your body and only do what feels comfortable. Focus on your form rather than the number of repetitions you do or how high you're jumping. Have a drink with you in case you get thirsty, and remember it's okay to take a break and rest at any time. Okay, is everyone ready to begin? First, we need to do a cardiovascular warm-up to get your heart pumping and your blood and oxygen circulating around your body. So let's start with some jogging on the spot. Let's go, girls. Sit, pump those arms, lift those knees. Good. Lou will get a stopwatch going. Fantastic. Knees up, nice and tight. Cores in. Beautiful, Gabby. Good job, Pippa. See if you can get those knees up a little bit more. Fantastic. Just a few more seconds to go. And we're going to now change into a high knee pull down. So arms up by ears, pull your arms down as you lift one knee up towards your chest. Let's start. Fantastic, and switch sides. Make everything beautifully tight. As you pull down. Good girl, Pippa. See if you can get a bit more speed. That's very nice and tight. And now see if you can make it a little bit faster. Fantastic. 10 seconds to go. Keep going. Amazing. Okay, let's move our arms down by our side and let's do some straight leg kicks in front. Keep your knees extended and your toes pointed. Let's go. Kick and point. That's it. Really push off the floor. Beautiful legs, Pippa. Good. That's it. You move those legs as quickly as you can. Brilliant. In 5 seconds, we're going to change to a lateral step pull down. So you're going to step out to the side, cross your opposite leg behind and pull your arms down. Let's go. That's it. And lunge as low as you can into that curtsy lunge. There we go. Reach the leg behind and lunge. Stretch those arms up and then down and out. Up, down and out. Very nice. Okay. Next exercise is diagonal heel flicks. So place your hands behind your back and the aim is to kick your right heel towards your left hand or your left glute and then your left heel towards your right hand or glute. So hands behind your back and let's go. Good. So you're kicking that foot nice and high and diagonally. Good. So really kick up for me, Gabby, rather than to the side. Focus on kicking your glutes. Good. Very nice. and you can do it slowly. That's absolutely fine. And then when you get the feel for the coordination, you can make it faster. Fantastic, girls. Just a few more seconds to go. And then we're going to do some rebound jumps, forwards and backwards. So hands on hips, and let's jump tightly forwards and backwards. Try and keep your knees nice and straight and push through your Achilles. So nice tight knees, legs glued together, feet stretched as you push. Oh, Megan has it easier there. She's on an air track. Keep bouncing forwards and back. Nice and tight, pull those cores in, keep your hands on your hips. Just a few exercises left to go now. So the next one is a star jump with a half turn. So if you watch Megan, she'll jump her feet out, in, do a half turn, and then repeat. Out, in, half turn. Let's go, girls. Out, in, half turn. Good. Make those star jumps nice and tight with straight knees. And it's your choice whether you turn all the way round or you do one turn one way and come back the other. Super. Stretch those knees and feet. Good. Okay, 2 left to go. Let's do some sprinting on the spot. Let's move those knees and feet nice and quick. Come on, girls, let's go. Good, Pippa. So the aim is low knees, but you're moving your feet as fast as you can. So imagine the floor's really hot to touch and you don't want to contact it. Good. Keep driving, keep driving. Amazing. Okay, last exercise, shoulder stand to bunny hop. So if you lie on your backs, lift your feet up in the air and roll out. Pop your hands on the floor and jump up so your hips go above your shoulders. There we go, and repeat. So you're pushing off the floor and up. Good. Stretch those knees in the shoulder stand. Fantastic. Well done, girls. That is warm-up part 1 complete. Now we need to wake your muscles up a little bit more. So we're going to move on to do some different exercises. Megan will demonstrate every exercise and then Gabby and Pippa will join in afterwards. So our first exercise is monster walking. So you position yourself with your feet hip width apart and your toes facing forward. Then you bend your knees a little bit so your kneecaps are lined up with where your laces would be if you had your trainers on. Megan's going to step 1 foot forwards, then the other leg, then 1 step back with 1 foot, and then the other side. And we're going to repeat, okay? We're going to do 8 to 10 of those. So when everyone's ready, let's go. Good. Watch your knees. Try and look straight ahead. Good. So we don't have to be in a low squat, just a mini squat. Fantastic. We'll do a couple more. Brilliant. Okay. Next exercise is a sumo prisoner squat. So Megan is going to take her feet hip width apart, pop her hands behind her head. That's why it's called a prisoner squat. She's then going to bend her knees as low as she can to squat towards the floor. And as she straightens her knees, she's going to drive up onto her tiptoes. Lower her heels back to the floor and repeat. Okay, girls, let's go. 8 to 10. So feet nice and wide. Step those feet wider for me, Pippa. And down we go. And drive up onto your tiptoes. Down we go. And lift up. Good. Keep going. Let's see if we can do 8 to 10. Nice controlled movements as you rise up onto your tiptoes. Don't let your ankles roll, okay? Good. It's time for exercise number 3, which is our crab walking. So Megan's going to position her feet hip width apart, toes facing forwards, knees slightly bent. She's going to step the right leg out to the side, so she goes towards a sumo squat, then her left leg will join to a parallel squat. And then we do the opposite. So the left leg steps out to a sumo and then back to parallel. Let's go, girls. Do 8 to 10. Watch those knees aren't drifting in. Keep them out to the side. Good work. Very nice. Core's tight. Brilliant. Time to move on. We're now going to do a step forwards to a step backwards lunge. So Megan's going to pop herself side on. Again, her feet are hip width apart. She will step one leg straight forwards with the toes facing forwards. She bends the back knee so she drops down towards the floor, keeping her body up tall. She then drives out of that position and steps the right leg backwards and drops into a lunge. So this will challenge your balance a little bit. Good. She steps her foot back to the middle and repeats on the other side. So you can try 3 to 4 on each leg. Absolutely fine. Let's have a go. Well done. Keep those bodies up nice and tall. Cores nice and tight. Remember, feet hip width apart, Pippa. That's it. Very good. One more, and then we will move on. Okay. So now we're going to do a single leg Romanian deadlift, otherwise called an aeroplane, to a tucked single leg balance hold. So Megan is going to stand on one leg, lower her body down to the T shape into the Romanian deadlift, and then as she drives up, she's going to hug one knee towards her chest and keep her balance. And she'll try 3 to 4 on each side, okay? So when we're ready, lower as far as you can down to the T shape. Good, and come up nice and tall. Super. Let's try 3 to 4 on each side. So only allow your body to go down to the T shape. And come up nice and tall and hug that knee towards your chest. Brilliant stuff. Okay, we have 2 exercises left to go. So, Megan's going to show you. So she'll be facing forwards, feet hip width apart, toes pointing straight ahead. She's going to go up onto her tiptoes with straight knees, and then as she comes down, she's going to lift one foot off the floor and go into a single leg landing position. The foot goes back on the floor, we drive back up onto our tiptoes and repeat on the opposite side. Is everyone ready? Let's have a go. Up and then lower onto one leg. So as you lower onto one leg, make sure you bend your knees. You come down like you're landing a tumble or a vault. So you soften into that knee, keeping the body nice and tight and strong. Up and lower. Good. 3 to 4 on each side. Well done. Up and lower. Good. Up and lower. Fantastic. Time for our final exercise. So Megan is going to start in a pike. She's going to walk out to plank so she does an inchworm. Then she's going to pull one knee to a Superman position, or Spider-Man, where the knee goes to the outside of the elbow, back to plank, and then she'll repeat on the other side. Out and back in. Out. That's it. And up we come. Fantastic. So when you're ready, girls, lower down to pike, walk out to front support, take one knee to the outside of the same elbow, repeat on the other side, and then come back in. Think about these plank shapes. Try not to be too dished, so a nice neutral plank. That's it, so we go out and in. Well done. One more. Super. When you're done, up, nice and tall. And that's part 2 of the warm-up complete. Finally, for the warm-up, we're going to do some more explosive jump and hop work. So there are 3 exercises to try. The first one, Megan will show you, is a long jump forwards with running high knees back to the start position. So she's going to do the biggest jump she can forward, swinging her arms, and then high knees, running backwards to the start position. Okay, let's try 5 or 6 of those. Only jump as far as you feel you can control and high knees back. Brilliant. That's it. Swing those arms, jump forwards, and then high knees. Really drive those knees up as you return back. Fantastic. Okay. We will now do a skater jump. So Megan is going to stand on her left leg. She's going to bound across to the right-hand side, land on the right leg, try and keep her balance, and then do the opposite bound over to the left. She's going to try and keep her body nice and straight and her core engaged. Have a go, maybe 4 to 5 on each side. That's it, swing those arms as you bound, opposite arm, opposite leg, otherwise you'll look a little bit like a penguin. So change your arms, Megan. There we go, otherwise you'll look a bit like a penguin. Good girl, Pippa. So if you're doing opposite arms to legs, that's it, it works. So the leg you land on, the other leg should be in front, the other arm should be in front. Okay, final exercise, we're going to do 5 hops forwards and backwards, then hold our landing on each leg. So if you watch Megan, she'll hop forwards and back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. Good, and then try the other side. Have a go, girls. Brilliant. Okay, fantastic. That's warm-up complete. So now we are going to do some mini leg circuits that will help to develop your strength, power, and control. For circuit number 1, is everyone ready to go? You'll just need your blocks like the girls have, or another object that's strong and stable enough to stand on. Exercise 1 is called a step up. So you stand facing your block and you pop your right foot up onto the step. So your toes are facing forwards and your knee is positioned over your ankle. Draw in through your core, push down through the heel of the front leg and step up onto the block, keeping your body as straight as you can, and then slowly lower the left leg back down to the floor, keeping your kneecap lined up with the middle of your foot. So that's where your laces would be if you had your trainers on. Okay, so let's have a go at 8 to 12 of those. Smoothly up, smoothly down, trying to keep your body nice and straight. So that's it. Let's go, Pippa. Good. Beautiful work. Now, if you find that quite easy, what you can do, like Megan, is not allow your left leg to touch the step, so it pulls straight up to a march or a Superman position and then controls back down. So Megan's going to show you that a little bit faster, so the leg comes straight up and she holds her balance and controls back down. Fantastic. When you're ready, switch on to the other side. Remember, keep going, girls. Super stuff. Smoothly up, smoothly down. So we could do 8 to 12 of these on each leg. Keep that core nice and tight. The center of your kneecap lined up with the middle of your foot. Make sure it's the front leg doing the work and not the back leg, so you're driving up off the front leg, not pushing yourself off with the back leg that contacts the floor. Super. So you want to control down too, Gabby, not just drop down, so slowly lower down. Much nicer, very good. Okay, so let's move on to exercise 2, which is calf raises. So if everyone stands on top of their blocks, now, you may need to hold on to a wall for this, for support, and that's absolutely fine. Or you can place your hands on your hips or out to the side, wherever feels comfortable. You're then going to walk your feet back so your heels are over the edge of the step, and you'll feel all the weight through the balls of your feet. Have your feet just slightly narrower than hip width. Then when you're ready, keep everything tight, slowly rise up onto your tiptoes, hold 1, 2, and then lower down so your heels drop over the edge of the block, and hold 1, 2. Fantastic. Let's try 8 to 12 more. Keep those knees nice and straight as you rise up and lower down. Very nice work, girls. Super. So you go as high and as low as your body allows you and is controllable. And when you feel a little bit more confident with these, we can go a little bit faster. Super. But you'll find it's good for your balance as well as for your calf strength. Amazing. Okay, let's do exercise number 3, which is a single leg box squat. So now you will have your back to the block. So you'll be standing on the floor, hip width apart, toes facing forwards. Okay, we have options with our arms. They can either be straight in front like a zombie, or they can be grasped together and in by your side, or you can use them to reach back for the block, whichever feels more comfortable, so you can have a play around. Let's lift your right foot off the floor, bend your knee and drive your hips backwards to lower down towards the block. You'll find your glutes touch, and then you can stand back up. And again, as you're doing these, you want your body to be nice and straight, your core to be tight, and your knee to be in the right place. So we'll let the girls go at their own pace. So you can see there, Pippa's being very smart and using her hands to help control herself. She's a little bit unsteady, and Megan and Gabby are doing a brilliant job keeping their arms off. Now we'll see if Megan is good enough to do it without her bottom touching. Let's see. So she might have to use her fingertips, so she just hovers above and stands back up. Amazing. When you've done 8 to 12, change legs. And you can see if one leg feels more steady and stronger than the other. Watch that knee that's bending doesn't wibble wobble in and out. Super. Keep your other leg nice and still if you can. Drive your hips back Amazing. And relax. Okay, so for the final exercise on this circuit, we're going to do a single leg hamstring bridge. So for this, everyone is going to lie themselves on their back with their bottom fairly close to the block and their feet on top of the block. So you may find that your heels are slightly over the edge, that's fine, but you'll know you're in the right position if your feet are hip width apart and your knees rest directly above your hips. The girls are going to have their arms by their side with their palms pointing down. Then they're going to lift the right foot up off the block. So it's hovering, but we'll keep that knee bent, girls. So the leg that's off, keep it bent for now. And then drive your hips up towards the ceiling to make a straight line from your shoulders to your left knee. And then slowly lower back down to the floor. Try and keep your hips nice and square and don't let them wibble wobble from side to side. So smoothly up and smoothly down. Again, we can try 8 to 12 of these. And you'll feel it work at the back of your thighs and your hamstrings and in your bottom. Keep your core nice and tight, Pippa, so that rib cage doesn't stick out. We don't want to be using your back muscles. Good. And just check everyone's lifting up to make a straight line from their shoulder to their knees. Try not to let that right hip drop, Gabby, as you lift. Keep your hips nice and level and square. Imagine there's a tray of drinks balanced. Okay, that's it. Let's try the other leg for a few repetitions. Good. Now play around with the speed. See how it feels. Is it controllable to lift up quite quickly to open and drive those hips? Or do you find you end up using your back and sticking your rib cage out? It's good to mix and match things up, to do some at a steady pace so it's helping control, and others a little bit faster. Amazing, girls. So that is circuit 1 complete. So now it's time for circuit number 2. And our first exercise is a hip thrust with a jump. So if everyone sits on the floor with their backs to the block, you need your bottom slightly away from the block and your shoulders resting against it. Knees are bent with your feet flat on the floor, toes facing forwards and knees hip width apart. What you are going to do is drive through your glutes so your hips open, and at the same time try and do a mini jump off the floor. So you'll watch hips go up, jump, and then lower back down. Fabulous. And you don't want your back to arch. You need to keep that connection between your rib cage and tummy. So your core is super strong. Think dish a little bit more for me, Pippa. It's very good, but just a little bit more dish. Well done, Gabby. So drive up, and you can try 8 to 12 of these to help you explode. Super, girls. That was fantastic, Gabby. Well done. Do a couple more. Brilliant. Last one. And then we're done. Okay, exercise number 2 is a Bulgarian split squat like we did in landing and leg session 1, but this time we're going to make it more challenging by adding a hop to it. So you will need to stand with your backs to the block, but you need to walk away from your block so you're a good half a metre to a metre from it. Feet hip width apart, toes facing forwards. Then place your right foot up onto the block so the top of your foot where your laces would be is resting on the block. Check your shoulders and hips are square so you're not twisted. Pull through your core, and then Pippa, your front leg needs to be a bit further forwards than that, doesn't it? There we go. And then drop your back knee down to the floor so it bends, keeping your body up nice and tall. As you return to the start position, drive through your heel and then explode up in the air to do a mini hop and straight back down into the lunge. So we're trying to make it smooth and controlled, up and down. And you'll see this is far more of a challenge for the girls. So try and make that transition between the hop and the lower beautifully smooth, like Pippa is managing so well there. If you need your arms out to the side or to hold on for a little bit of support, that's absolutely fine. When you've done 8 to 12, we can change onto the other leg. Now you'll see Megan's finding that's a little bit more challenging. So what we could get Megan to do is to lower into the lunge, and then as she drives up, just rise up onto your tiptoes, Megan. So don't leave the floor. Drive up, tiptoes, good. Heel down and lower back, super. Think about keeping these cores nice and tight, girls. And make sure you're not too close to the block so your front knee is not ahead of your toes. So take that leg a bit further forwards, Megan and Gabby, good. You're dropping your back knee straight down to the floor, very nice. So this is probably the most challenging exercise we've tried to date, but you're doing amazing, girls. Fantastic. Okay, shall we try exercise number 3? This is a tuck reverse hyper and is going to work your glutes. So for this, we're going to have you all lie on your fronts on your block. And with each hand, you want to grasp the corner of the blocks. So your forearms end up squeezing into the block. Bend your knees so the front of your thighs touch the block, but your feet are off the floor. Draw your belly button away from the block so your core is engaged, and then straighten your knees and drive your heels up in the air, keeping your core strong, hold, and then lower back down. So for this exercise, you're trying to use your glutes, not your back. So keep your core nice and strong. Beautiful shape, Megan. Very good. And you want to try and make the movement smooth. So it almost goes 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, down. And that shows you have fantastic control. Good, Pippa, just try and straighten those knees at the top. And look to make it nice and smooth, Gabby. So try and straighten your knees and open your hips at the same time. Yes, better try. Well done, girls. One more. And that is circuit number 2 complete. Amazing. So at home, you could do 8 to 12 of each of those exercises. And if you wanted to and had the energy, you could go through that circuit 3 times through. Well done, girls. So the exercises for circuit 3 are a little bit more dynamic, and they will help to develop your power and explosiveness. The first one we're going to do is a drop down to a high jump. So for this, if everyone stands on top of their blocks with their toes towards the edge of the block, you can choose which leg you hang over the edge of the block. So drop one leg in front. You're then going to drop down off the block and explode as quickly as you can off the floor up into the air, and hold your landing position for 3 seconds. Good. Try and land with your feet hip width apart and your knees lined up with your laces. And if you can, I would alternate maybe what leg you're dropping over the block. Let's try 6 of these, girls. Well done, Gabby. Very nice. Think about that beautifully strong, soft landing position. So as you land, your knees bend, your heels touch the floor, and your kneecaps are lined up with the middle of your feet. Fantastic. Has everyone had a go at altering and changing the leg that they're using? Good, Gabby, just watch those knees, don't wibble wobble in and out, but very nice. And see how quickly you can explode off the floor like Megan and come down to a beautifully strong landing position. Very good, Pippa. Nice, Gabby. Super. Okay. So last one, girls, if you're up on the block, and then we'll do our second exercise. Brilliant. Exercise number 2 is a rebound jump on and off. So you're going to stand on the floor facing your block, feet hip width apart, toes facing forwards. A little bit closer for me, Pippa, please. There we go. And you're going to jump on and off the block. So you're going to rebound on and off 6 times for me. Brilliant. That's it. So explode on and off the floor. Now, to make it harder, we could add a quarter turn to this. So if you start sideways onto the block, as you jump up in the air, you do a quarter turn to land facing the direction that you've just been jumping, okay? So feet hip width apart, explode up, do your quarter turn, rebound on, and then do your quarter turn off back to the side on starting position. There we go. So you can do it going to and from the same side or different sides, like Megan's just done. Fantastic. And let's do 6 of those. Very nice, girls. Think about being strong and powerful. Good, Gabby. Just make sure those feet are all the way on the block so you feel nice and stable. That's it, Pippa. Just watch that left knee when you land. Very good. Okay. Our final exercise in this circuit is a drop down to a long jump. So Megan's just going to flip her block a bit further back. Everyone's then going to stand on top of their block with their toes towards the edge. Choose one foot to hang over the edge of the block. Drop straight down to the floor and rebound as far as you can by jumping it forwards and long. Yes, and then hold that landing position for 1, 2, 3. Brilliant. Okay, let's go again for us. So hang the leg over the block. Come diagonally forwards for us, Gabby. That's it, towards the camera. That's it, straight forwards. Brill. Okay. So you can try up to 6 of those. Super stuff. If you're energetic, you can run back to your blocks. It depends how you're feeling. Good. Everyone check when you land. Feet are hip width apart. Kneecaps are lined up with where your laces would be on your shoes. You have equal weight through both feet. And try and soften into the landing so your knees and hips bend with your kneecaps lined up with the middle of your feet. Fantastic. Last one then, girls, if you're up on the block. Amazing. That is circuit number 3 complete. I think it's time for another drink. Our last circuit, it focuses on landing control. And in landing and leg session 1, we looked at double leg landing control. And today we're going to make it more challenging by looking at single leg landing control. So we are going to work your right leg during this session, and then if you want to at home, I would try working your left leg later in the day so it keeps you as symmetrical as possible. So everyone's going to climb on their blocks, and we are first of all going to do some drop downs forwards to land on one leg. So the right leg is going to hang over the edge of the block. What happens is you drop down off the block, and as you land, you soften into the landing. So your knees bend and your hips go backwards, and you try and freeze and hold that position. Brilliant, without your knees caving in. So let's try 3 to 4 of those. The leg hangs over the edge, you drop down, soften into the landing so the heel touches down on the floor, the hips and knees bend, and you hold that position as still as you can for 3 seconds. Try not to let your body wobble from side to side. It's okay if one doesn't work, it's much harder this way. And also, Think about not allowing your knees to cave in. So you want that center of the kneecap to stay lined up with where your laces would be on your shoes. Excellent, girls. Okay? Now, we're going to try that sideways on. Okay? So you will need to position yourself so the right leg hangs over the edge of the block. That's it. We're going to do exactly the same. We're going to drop straight down off the block, and as you land, try and make it as soft and as quiet as possible by bending your knee, letting your heel touch the floor, and allowing your hips to flex also. Remember, try and freeze at the bottom of the hold so we have a super strong and stable landing position. Fantastic. Body up tall, cores tight, hips and shoulders nice and level and square. Try not to look like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And if you need to pop your other foot down onto the floor to help balance yourself, that's absolutely fine to begin with. You can work on it over the next couple of weeks to see if you can make yourself more steady and stable. Fantastic, girls. Okay, now we're going to do some backwards, because we all know in gymnastics we spend time landing forwards and backwards. So this time you're going to stand towards the back of your block and you're going to hang your right leg over the edge of the block. Tell you what, Pippa, why don't you do that sideways on? That's it, there we go. So hang the leg over the block and drop down to land on that right leg. Allow that knee to soften as you land so it bends and your hips bend also. Brilliant, girls. Let's try 3 to 4 in total. Make sure your arms are nice and steady and stable, and try and keep yourself as still as a statue as you land. Nice work. I know it's hard. Just keep trying. Brilliant, Megan, much better. Good recovery, Gabby. Very nice, Pippa. Super. That's the last one. There we go. And our last exercise is the most complex and challenging of them all. We're going to try and add a quarter turn into the landing. So you will start with your right leg hanging over the edge of the block. You drop down, do a quarter turn as you're dropping to land facing in a different direction. So this is going to be the hardest one to control those knees. Try not to let them fall in. You don't want your right knee to drop in towards the other side as you land. If there was a sticker on the center of your kneecap, you would want it to stay lined up with the middle of your foot, okay? If you keep your cores nice and tight, it makes it even easier to do. Amazing. Last one, girls. Much better, Pippa. Well done. That's it. Try not to let that ankle roll, Megan. Good job, Gabby. Okay. Well, girls, that is us completed. Amazing work.
Thank you so much to Louise from Rejuvenate Physio, Megan, Gabby and Pippa for another brilliant session. Don't forget to tag us in your posts for the giveaway, or if you have a private account, please send them to us directly. Use the hashtag landing and legs too. See you next week.